Katie. I'll be your guide today as I take you through my experiences and daily adventures while on a geologic field study of Iceland. This is me on the Iceland Dialogue. I've just completed 5 years at Northeastern, majoring in environmental studies and elementary education. I enjoy long hikes and eating Icelandic ice cream. Alright, back to the adventure. It began by plane. We landed in Reykjavik. NU Campground, day 1. Say hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
From our campsites, we hiked and or took the bus to class. It was easy enough to get to class because everywhere we stepped, learning opportunities surrounded us. The whole country was our classroom. There was nothing that could stop us from learning. We traveled to class on sunny days and on rainy days. We had some bumpy rides off the main road, up mountains, and even through rivers. Sometimes we even drove through one-lane tunnels, a bit unnerving for us, but a common occurrence for Icelandic drivers. And when the bus stopped, it was time to start hiking to find the perfect place for learning. Here, you see the class hiking through a lava channel. We summited flat-top mountains called tuyas and miles of moss-covered hummocky terrain. On this dialogue, we lived life on the edge and went where only the sheep would think to go. Then, when we got really crazy, we strapped on the old crampons, grabbed our ice picks, and traversed up glaciers. Once we finally made it to those perfect learning spots, it was time for geologizing. What is geologizing, you may ask? I came to understand it as the act of thinking about and interpreting the geology around us. And as we geologized all around Iceland, the goals of the trip became clearer. At each stop, it became easier to understand how geologic processes both created and destroyed the surrounding landscapes. Here you can see one of our many group activities. We were studying the size and shape of rock deposits on this tombolo. Iceland appears the way it does today mainly because of volcanic and glacial processes. Our professors would set us up with some background information and then set us free to explore the land and decipher what we saw with our groups. And then when we got tired of hiking and geologizing, it was time to eat. Lunch consisted of some creative roadside sandwiches such as
some Crunions on a piece of bread.
PB&J. I would go with classic turkey, lettuce and tomato.
It was no small feat to feed a group of 28 hungry students, 3 professors, a camp manager, and a bus driver. After our stops at the local grocery store, we often left the shelves looking pretty bare. For dinners, we alternated teams of 4 students who would cook for the entire group. It was always exciting to see what each team would make. In my opinion, all the meals were delicious and did a great job of giving us energy for our next adventure. Like crossing a river, for instance. Or circumnavigating the ridge of a cirque. Every day there were new places to explore, and every day was full of exciting challenges as well as beautiful scenery. It was amazing to see the huge differences in the landscape in such a tiny country. One day we would be watching a geyser erupt before our eyes. And then the next, we'd be on a boat surrounded by glaciers. And then back to high-temperature geothermal springs. One thing we could almost always expect to see were the waterfalls. And some more waterfalls. And some more. Each one fantastic in its own way. In addition to the natural beauty of Iceland's geology, we also got to spend some time with the wildlife. Like horses. And puffins! Here, we see a Northeastern student taking some time to get to know an Icelandic goat. I named this goat Fred. He likes dandelions. Along with the animals and the field study of the volcanoes and the glaciers, there was definitely some time for a little fun too. And all the time to become one with nature. This trip is an example of the only way I want to take my classes from now on. It was stuffed with unforgettable moments, and surreal in every way.
This is Northeastern on top of Mount Ezia. Logan, how do you feel?
Pretty.
If you choose to go on a dialogue like this, I highly recommend you hold on tight and don't let any of the moments slide away.